Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, a brand new story awaits your English practice. As you listen, try to shadow my voice and speak along with me. Are you ready to get lost in the story and improve your English? Let's begin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am Leo. Today, I am going to tell you the strangest and scariest experience of my life. This happened in my old job, in an old hotel with very weird rules. What would you do if you were alone at the reception at midnight? And what if the guests had to tell you their darkest secrets just to leave the hotel? Yes, you heard me right. That was the rule of my hotel. If you don't tell your secret, you cannot leave. At first, everything was very funny and entertaining. But one night, a mysterious man came to room 104 and changed everything. And after that night, my life changed forever. Now, sit back, drink your coffee, and go back to that dark hotel with me. Here is my story. It starts with my very first day. It all started 3 months ago. I was looking for a job and I saw an ad on the internet. It said, "Night receptionist wanted for Grand Oak Hotel." The salary was good and the job looked very easy. I applied immediately. The next day, I met the hotel manager, Mr. Harris. He was a very sweet, middle-aged man with gray hair. He always smiled. He showed me the hotel. It was old, but it looked very clean and peaceful. While Mr. Harris was explaining the job, he told me a very important rule. He showed me a big old black book on the reception desk. "Leo," he said with a smile, "this is the oldest rule of our hotel. Every guest who wants to check out must write their biggest secret in this book, a secret that nobody knows. Or they must tell it to you. If they don't do this, the front door of the hotel stays locked. They cannot leave." At first, I thought it was a joke. I laughed, but Mr. Harris was very serious. So I thought, okay, why not? How bad could a secret be? My first week was great. I worked a night shift. The hotel was usually quiet, and the best part was the morning when the guests checked out. People were so funny when they told their secrets. One day, a very polite 60-year-old man came. He wanted to leave. I reminded him of the rule. He looked left and right, leaned towards me and whispered, "Actually, I have no hair. I wear a wig, and at night, I put this wig on my dog's head and laugh at him." When I heard this, I tried hard not to laugh. I opened the book and wrote this secret. The man smiled. Click! The front door opened and he waved and left. Another day, a very rich and elegant woman wanted to check out. When I asked for her secret, her face turned red. "Last night, I ate all the expensive chocolates in the fridge. This morning, I told the cleaner that there was a ghost in the room and the ghost ate the chocolates." I wrote it in the book again and said goodbye to the woman. My days were passing like this. Listening to people's little, cute lies and secrets was like therapy for me. I loved the job. Mr. Harris also came every morning, checked the book, touched my shoulder, and said, "Good job, Leo. You are doing great." But every good story has an end, right? My good days ended exactly on that night. That night, there was a terrible storm outside. It was raining heavily, and the wind was shaking the old windows of the hotel. It was exactly 3 a.m. I was alone in the lobby drinking my hot tea. Suddenly, the heavy wooden door of the hotel slowly opened. Cold wind and raindrops came inside. A man came in. His coat was very old and completely wet. He slowly took off his hat. His face was so white, like he never saw the sun. His eyes looked very deep and sad. His steps made no sound. He looked like he was floating in the air. he came near the reception. With a cold voice, he said, "I want a room." His voice was like the whisper of the wind. I looked at him, and I felt cold. "Of course, sir," I said. "We have empty rooms. What is your name?" He didn't answer. He just looked at the keys on the desk. He reached out and took the key to room 104. "This room," he said. "Okay, sir. Can I have your ID?" I asked. But he didn't hear me. He turned his back and started walking to the stairs. He left no wet footprints while walking up the stairs. This was very strange. But I was tired because of the storm. I just wrote Room 104, Mysterious Guest in the book. Right after that man entered Room 104, strange things started to happen in the hotel. First, the lights in the lobby started to flicker and turn off by themselves. Then I heard strange sounds from the upper floors. It sounded like people were running in the hallway, but there were no footsteps. There were only whispers. Voices of men, women, and children. They were all whispering at the same time. "Do you know the secret? Do you know the secret?" I was getting scared. My computer screen suddenly went black. Red letters appeared on it. "Help me." I rubbed my eyes and looked again. The text was gone. I said to myself, "Leo, you are very tired. You are dreaming." But it was not a dream. At that moment, my teacup moved on the table by itself. It slid a few centimeters and stopped. The pens on the table started to shake. The pictures on the walls tilted slightly. I swallowed. My heart was beating very fast. I looked at my watch. Time stopped. The hands of the watch were not moving. All these supernatural things started after that man entered the hotel. That man was definitely not a normal person. But who was he? And why was he here? With that fear, I waited for the morning, for the sun to rise. It was the longest night of my life. Finally, it was morning. When the sunlight came through the windows, I felt a little relaxed. Just then, I heard a sound from the stairs. I looked up. The man from room 104 was coming down. His coat was still wet, but no water was dripping. He walked straight to me. He stood right in front of me. His eyes were looking directly into my soul. "I am leaving," he said. I took a deep breath. I was scared, but I had to follow the rules. "Okay, sir," I said. "But you know, our hotel has a rule. Before you leave, you must give me your biggest secret, or the door will not open." The man smiled slightly. This smile was full of pain. He looked at the big black book on the table, then turned to me. "Do you really want to know my secret, young man?" he asked. His voice echoed in my brain. "Yes," I said. "I have to write it." He leaned towards me. I felt his cold breath on my face. It was like ice. And he whispered those terrible words. "I am not actually alive, Leo. I am a ghost. Exactly 10 years ago, I was killed in room 104 of this hotel." I froze when I heard this. I wanted to think he was joking, but the supernatural light in his eyes showed me he was not lying. The man continued, "This is not my secret, Leo. The real big secret is this. Do you know who killed me? The hotel manager who hired you, who smiles at you every morning. Mr. Harris. He killed me 10 years ago and hid my body in the basement of this hotel. This is my secret." While I couldn't even breathe from shock, the man's body slowly began to shine. In front of my eyes, he disappeared into the air like smoke. Only a cold wind fell on the table. I looked at the book. The page the man touched turned into a black ash stain. I was horrified. My brain stopped working. Was Mr. Harris a killer? And was I working in a killer's hotel? Just then, I heard a loud noise behind me. The heavy front door of the hotel opened hard. Mr. Harris came in. But this time, he was not smiling. His eyes were full of anger. He had a heavy iron flashlight in his hand. He looked straight at me. He saw the fear on my face, and he knew that I understood the truth. "Leo," he said. His voice was not sweet anymore. It was very dark. "He told you everything, right? That ghost. You know the secret of room 104 now." "Mr. Harris," I said, trying to escape backwards. But there was a wall behind me. I had nowhere to run. "I didn't hear anything. I swear." "Don't lie!" shouted Mr. Harris, and he started walking towards me. "You know the rules of this hotel, Leo. A receptionist who learns a secret can never leave this hotel until he takes that secret to his grave." He was coming at me. He was going to silence me. He was going to kill me, too. Exactly at that moment, all the light bulbs in the lobby exploded with a loud bang. Everywhere went dark. Suddenly, the temperature in the room dropped below 0. Mr. Harris stopped in fear. What we saw was terrifying. The ghost of room 104 was standing right behind him, and he was not alone. From the dark corners of the hotel, dozens of other shadows appeared. These were the souls of other people who were lost in this hotel over the years. They all started to whisper together. The sound was so strong that the walls were shaking. "Follow the rule. Write your secret. Follow the rule." The ghosts pushed Mr. Harris towards the desk. An invisible force made him kneel. The big black book on the table opened by itself. The ghost pointed at the book. The unavoidable rule of the hotel now applied to the killer himself. He couldn't leave without writing his secret. Mr. Harris was crying, shaking uncontrollably. He realized he couldn't escape. He took the pen and started writing while crying. 10 years ago, I killed the guest in room 104. I hid his body behind the secret wall in the basement. The moment Mr. Harris finished writing, something miraculous happened. The heavy, cold, and dark air in the hotel suddenly disappeared. The ghost of room 104 looked at me, nodded slightly, and smiled. Then, with all the other shadows, they slowly shone and disappeared completely. The hotel was free now. The curse was over. The big front door of the hotel opened wide by itself. I immediately ran outside. I breathed the fresh air into my lungs. I took out my phone and called the police. Very shortly after, police cars arrived. The confession written in Mr. Harris's own handwriting and the evidence found in the basement proved everything. They handcuffed Mr. Harris and took him away. He got the punishment he deserved.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Keep practicing your English every day, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.